Hey everybody! Today we're going to be reading chapter 22 of Leviticus. And after I get done reading scripture, I'm going to explain why I think about it, how I feel about it. And I'm not an expert in scripture at all, so please do not lean on my understanding, but trust in the Lord for understanding and for guidance. And if I mispronounce any names, places, people, words, I do apologize about that. And I have my Bible that I'm reading from. It's the New Living Translation for those who want to follow along. And without further ado, let's get started. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to be very careful with the sacred gifts that the Israelites set apart for me, so they do not bring shame on my holy name. I am the Lord. Give them the following instructions." Excuse me. "In all future generations, if any of your descendants is ceremonially unclean when he approaches the sacred offerings that the people of Israel consecrated to the Lord, he must be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. If any of Aaron's descendants has a skin disease or any kind of discharge that makes him ceremonially unclean, he may not eat from the sacred offerings until he has been pronounced clean. He also becomes unclean by touching a corpse or by having an emission of semen, or by touching a small animal that is unclean, or by touching someone who is ceremonially unclean for any reason. The man who is defiled in any of these ways will remain unclean until evening. He may not eat from the sacred offerings until he has bathed himself in water. When the sun goes down, he will be ceremonially clean again and may eat from the sacred offerings, for this is his food. He may not eat any animal that has died a natural death or has been torn apart by wild animals, for this would defile him. I am the Lord. The priests must follow my instructions carefully, otherwise they will be punished for their sin and will die from violating my instructions. I am the Lord who makes them holy. No one outside a priest's family may eat the sacred offerings. Even guests and hired workers in a priest's home are not allowed to eat them. However, if the priest buys a slave for himself, the slave may eat from the sacred offerings. And if his slaves have children, they also may share his food. If a priest's daughter marries someone outside the priestly family, she may no longer eat the sacred offerings. But if she becomes a widow or is divorced and has no children to support her, and she returns to live in her father's home as in her youth, she may eat her father's food again. Otherwise, no one outside a priest's family may eat the sacred offerings. Any such person who eats the sacred offerings without realizing it must pay the priest for the amount eaten, plus an additional 20%. The priest must not let the Israelites defile the sacred offerings brought to the Lord by allowing unauthorized people to eat them. This would bring guilt upon them and require them to pay compensation. I am the Lord who makes them holy. And the Lord said to Moses, "Give Aaron and his sons all the Israelites these instructions, which apply both to native Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. If you present a gift as a burnt offering to the Lord, whether it is to fulfill a vow or is a voluntary offering, you will be accepted only if your offering is a male animal with no defects. It may be a bull, a ram, or a male goat. Do not present an animal with defects, because the Lord will not accept it on your behalf. If you present a peace offering to the Lord from the herd or the flock, whether it is to fulfill a vow or is a voluntary offering, you must offer a perfect animal. It may have no defect or of any kind. You must not offer an animal that is blind, crippled, or injured, or that has a wart, a skin sore, or scabs. Such animals must never be offered on the altar as a special gift as special gifts to the Lord. If a bull or ram has a leg that is too long or too short, it may be offered as a voluntary offering, but it may not be offered to fulfill a vow. If an animal has damaged testicles or is castrated, you may not offer it to the Lord. You must never do this in your own land, and you must not accept such an animal from foreigners and then offer it as a sacrifice to your God. Such animals will not be accepted on your behalf, for they are mutilated or defective. And the Lord said to Moses, when a calf or lamb or goat is born, it must be left with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as a special gift to the Lord. But you must not slaughter a mother animal and her offspring on the same day, whether from the herd or the flock. When you bring a thanksgiving offering to the Lord, sacrifice it properly so you will be accepted. Eat the entire sacrificial animal on the day it is presented. Do not leave any of it until the next morning. I am the Lord. You must faithfully keep all my commands by putting them into practice, for I am the Lord. Do not bring shame on my holy name, for I will display my holiness among the people of Israel. I am the Lord who makes you holy. It was I who rescued you from the land of Egypt, that I might be your God. I am the Lord. Thus ends the reading of chapter 22 of Leviticus. So, it's basically talking about, it's giving more instructions for the priest, because this was a continuation from what we read last chapter, in chapter 21. And then it also talked about, the worthy and unworthy, offerings for the Lord. It makes sense that any offering that's offered to the Lord must be, a pure offering, without any defects and stuff, because when you think about Jesus, Jesus was without sin. He was perfect, and he was, the sacrificial lamb, the perfect sacrifice for our sins. So back in the day when the Israelites had to actually sacrifice, animals and stuff in order to appease the Lord, that's the reason why it had to be, a perfect, animal sacrifice. It couldn't have any defects. It couldn't be nothing wrong with it, because you're slaughtering this animal, as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, which the Lord deserves the best, and then, you might be sacrificing that animal, for forgiveness for your sins. And, you cannot sacrifice something that's, imperfect in order to give, forgiveness from your sins. It has to be perfect. So, I'm just reminded of Jesus every time I read about the offerings, because literally, what he did for us on the cross is so amazing. We don't have to worry about sacrificing animals and stuff like that no more. Well, the Israelites don't have to worry about sacrificing animals and stuff like that no more, and neither do we, because we're Gentiles. If you're not an Israelite, if you weren't born in Israel, if you're not an Israelite, if you're not a part of the, if you wasn't born a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, if you weren't, if you're not one of them, then basically you a Gentile. So, excuse me. So, if you're not a natural born, native, Jew, Israelite, then you are a Gentile. So, I'm happy that the Israelites no longer have to do any of this stuff. Well, I'm happy that they don't have to sacrifice animals and stuff like that no more, because, we got Jesus. And we, and anytime they talk about foreigners living among you, I always consider that as the Gentiles. I consider that being us, because if I was to go to Israel right now, if I was to go to Jerusalem, whatever, right now, and live among them, I would be a foreigner living among them. So, I'm a Gentile. So, So we don't have to sacrifice no animals or anything like that. And then as far as the rules and regulations that the Israelites had to follow, the instructions and stuff, like for the priests and all that, that's completely, they instructions. Like, we Gentiles don't have to worry about that, because, like, we're not a part of the Levite clan, who are the ones that literally are supposed to, take care of the Lord's temple and stuff like that. So we ain't got to worry about none of that, So that's why I always say, I love the Old Testament. I love reading all of the rules and regulations and decrees and instructions and stuff like that the Lord gave the Israelites and stuff. It was a lot. And I'm blessed to be a Gentile and don't have to worry about all of this. I just love what Jesus did on the cross so much, because he just simplified everything. He came, he fulfilled the law, and like we don't have to worry about all of this stuff in the Old Testament, because he came and he fulfilled the law. He completed all of this, and he was perfect, So, like, all we got to do is just follow Jesus and his teachings, which is in the New Testament. Whatever he say, whatever the red letters say, that's what you do, and you'll be fine. Me personally, I just think about, okay, is my actions, is what I'm doing loving God and loving others? Is what I'm doing, considered righteous, holy, good, pleasing to the Lord and stuff? Like, am I doing what Jesus would have did? You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to think about. That's all you got to think about. It sounds simple, but of course it's hard to carry out. And the Lord knows that. That's why he with us. That's why he walk with us, and that's why he, does everything with us. I love taking Jesus wherever I go. We love hanging out in the car. We hanging out in the car right now, doing this Bible study with y'all, and then we gonna do our own personal Bible study that we do every day. I say personal Bible study because, it's like I read my Bible every day. I read at least like 2 chapters every day. And I say at least 2 chapters because some days I just, all depending on where we at in the Bible, I just can't put it down. And other days I be tired and be needing a break because them 2 chapters that I just read had a lot in it, a lot processed, and I just had to put it down, But but I try and at least read 2 chapters. I try to read his word every day. If I don't read his word, on a day, I love reflecting on, okay, why was I so busy that day? Like, what all was I doing that day to where, I couldn't even, take the time to read the Lord's word? Because I got to make sure that don't happen again, because I love reading his word and I love spending time with him, So, but yeah, chapter 22, yeah, it was just instructions for the priests. I love, listening to the instructions for the priests and stuff. They really do got to follow some rules, and I think they still follow those rules, if I'm not mistaken. That's another reason why I want to visit Jerusalem, like why I want to go to Israel and stuff. That's another reason why I want to go. I want to see. Like, I want to see if they still do all this. I know I could probably look at a YouTube video and probably figure it out, like, do some research real quick and see. But, it's nothing like going in person, you know what I'm saying? And seeing everything. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all, for this chat. Oh, wait. I got one more thing to say. Okay, so you know how at the end of like every chapter when the Lord be giving instructions and stuff for the Israelites and everything, I love how he says this. I'm gonna read it again. It's verses 31 through 33 of this chapter of chapter 22 of Leviticus. It says, "You must faithfully keep all my commands, by putting them into practice, for I am the Lord. Do not bring shame on my holy name, for I will display my holiness among the people of Israel. I am the Lord who makes you holy. It was I who rescued you from the land of Egypt, that I might be your God. I am the Lord. I love how he says something, similar to that, or exactly that, at the end of the chapters, or in the chapters, when he giving instructions and stuff to the Israelites. I love it because I love how he constantly keep reminding us that we need to put his commandments into practice. Basically, we need to do the things that he tells us to do. We need to be obedient, and I feel like that's worth mentioning. Yeah, we need to be faithful and be obedient and do what it is he tells us to do. I had to mention that, and we don't want to, me personally, I don't want to disappoint the Lord. I don't like to be ashamed, and stuff like that. I don't want him to be ashamed of me or nothing, that's just me, because I have perfectionism issues. So, I feel like when I mess up, I disappointed him or something, but, he's not like human parents, and I just have to remind myself of that all the time, but yeah, and I love how he says that I am the Lord who makes you holy. Like, you got to remember, there's nothing that you can do in order to make yourself like basically, how like you can't earn your way into heaven and stuff like that. There's no amount of good deeds or whatever that you can do in order to earn your way into heaven. It's the Lord who makes you holy. It's Jesus who literally saves you. It's him. It's because of him and your faith in him and stuff that you will get into heaven. It's because of your faith in him, that'll get you into heaven. And because of you, living a righteous life, a Christ-like life and stuff like that, that'll get you there, because faith without works is dead. So, if you got faith, your faith will produce good works, So, it's like you ain't got to worry about anything. That's why I say, you got to be obedient to the Lord and stuff like that. But yeah, I just love the reminder that it's the Lord that makes us holy. It's the Lord that, makes us, right with God and stuff. We cannot do it on our own. So, anybody who be like, oh, you gotta, earn your way into heaven. No, it's not how it works. But okay. And I love the part where he always reminded the Israelites that it was him that rescued them from Egypt, from the land of Egypt. Because them Israelites, I can't remember how many times this happened, but it's like they would always make some pagan idol or pagan god or whatever and claim that it was that thing that rescued them from Egypt. And I'm looking like, y'all crazy as heck. Like, literally, God is over here, with y'all as a pillar of cloud, or as a pillar of fire, all depending on what day it is. He was a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. But he literally with y'all. Y'all got this Ark of the Covenant where he, travels with y'all and stuff, and y'all over here tripping, talking about some of these pagan idols and stuff like that is the ones that rescued y'all. Like, what? I don't know. They be, the Israelites be tripping sometimes, honestly. But I mean, I'm not making excuses for them. I just understand. I understand. We be tripping sometimes. That's just like me falling for the again, I don't know if it was a scam or not, but like a little while ago, I did a dumb thing basically, and I was ashamed that I even fell for that and did that dumb thing, because I'm looking like, dude, like it didn't make no sense. But yeah, it's like I understand, I understand the Israelites be tripping sometimes, a lot of times, you know, and I don't know, I just feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that is something that you probably shouldn't be making the mistake of, especially when he right in your face. Like, he right in your face. Like, you see the Lord out there as a cloud, you know, or as some fire or whatever. You see him hovering over the Ark of the Covenant or whatever. Or, you know, it's like, you know he there. You know who your God is. Like, quit playing. Quit playing. But yep. That's it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Because I had to talk about it. But I had a wonderful day today, though, y'all. I got the chance to be an auntie for the first time. Well, in my opinion. I had to take one of my nephews to an appointment. To an appointment that he couldn't miss. And it was cool. And then I got them some food. I got my nephews and niece some food, some pizza, so that way they could eat. While they parents out of town. So I loved it, honestly. I feel it's like, you know, since I'm a college student and stuff, and I be, you know, very, you know, limited on finances and stuff. You know, I have to be real careful about what it is I spend my money on, but pretty much if I spend my money on anything, it's gonna be, you know, like bills and food. So getting them some pizza, it felt good. It felt good to do that. It really did. Like, I feel like I was an auntie, like, the first time, you know, today. And it really felt good. So it's been a great day. And then I've been, you know, worshiping the Lord all day. Shoot, from what time did I get in this car? I got in this car at like 12. Yeah. So it's been 4 hours. It's been 4 hours. I've been worshiping the Lord, shoot, all day long. I have. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And it felt good too, but I had to turn the music off, cause I have been singing and worshiping and stuff for a long time, and I was like, okay, that's enough. I mean, I know that when we get to heaven and everything, we're gonna be worshiping all day long and stuff, but I feel like that's different, cause like, it's like I was listening to y'all know the 99.1 Joy FM, you know, radio station, you know, here in St. Louis and stuff. Like, I was listening to that, and they sometimes have the same songs on, you know, playing. And I love the songs and everything, so I was just singing along, you know, worshiping and stuff. And I had to turn it off, because, you know, it was like some of the same songs was playing. That's why I got my own playlist on YouTube, so that way I can, you know, have a variety of some songs. I gotta add more songs to it. But yeah, when we get to heaven though, it's gonna be a new song every day. Well, it's gonna be new songs constantly. Like, I can't wait to hear the old hymns from the ancestors and stuff, and I can't wait to hear what the disciples and them was singing back in the day. And all that, you know, I can't wait to hear all the songs, you know, and I can't wait for them to hear our songs, you know, the songs that we came up with and stuff. Like, like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. You know, I wonder who's gonna be in charge of praise and worship and stuff in heaven, since, you know, since the devil, since Lucifer and stuff got kicked out. I wonder who's gonna be in charge now of it. That's an interesting question. I always assume Jesus gonna be in charge of stuff, because, you know, I mean, it's the Lord. But he might appoint somebody to be over that. I don't know. Another angel or something. I don't know. That's a question to ask. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. But shoot, can't wait. I can't wait to hear all the songs and see all the people dancing and stuff, and just shoot, praising the Lord all day long. The heavenly choir, oh, them vocals is gonna be amazing. Them vocals is gonna be amazing. Like, I can imagine all of us singing. Like, all of us singing. It's just gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be church 24/7. I can't wait. I can't wait. I try and have church all the time, you know, just here on earth. Because I'm looking like, you know, why wait till I get to heaven? You know what I'm saying? But heaven is just gonna be so wonderful. Oh, and I can't wait to talk to my see, I got a cat. Her name is Whiskers. She's black and white. I don't know what type of like breed she is or whatever. I really don't know. Cause when we got her, I got her when we were children. And a family friend's cat had just had a litter of kittens, and I picked Whiskers out, you know, as a kitten, you know, after she had just, you know, been born, you know, and we could touch, you know, and it was at that point where we can touch them, you know, without the cat, you know, killing it or whatever, because it don't smell like them or whatever. Like, I picked her, and then my brother named her. So we've had her for like, what, 15 years now? Yep, she getting up in age, you know. We know it's gonna be time one day. We hope that we can have her, you know, for 20 years, you know, basically more than 20 years. Like, but yeah, she's 15 years old, and we love her so much. And I can't wait to get to heaven and her live and my cat Whiskers live in my mansion with me, and we actually get to talk. I feel like we actually gonna be able to talk to our pets when we get to heaven. Like, we gonna understand what they saying. And I really hope that we didn't treat them bad. Like, I try my best to understand what it is my cat want, you know, based off of her behaviors and stuff like that, and give her what she want. Try to play with her and stuff like that. You know, you try and do your best, you know, do the best by your pets and stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to get to heaven and to talk to her, and, you know, to love her, and to live in paradise with her, to always have her, to not have to worry about death or anything like that no more. You know, nobody will be sad or depressed. You know, we'll always have food, always have water. You know, nobody will be poor or homeless or struggling or nothing like that. We'll all be good, having our little mansions in the sky, you know. And shoot, like, I'm fine with just having a room up inside Jesus' palace, like however it look. Shoot, like, I just want my room, and I want my cat in my room. That's it. And you know what? All of the pets that I've had, you know, all of the animals that I've taken care of and stuff, shoot, during my life, they can all be in my room. I don't care. Shoot, we all gonna be living together, and we all gonna be peaceful, and it's all gonna be great. Can't wait. Man, I can't wait to talk to some big animals. Like I want to talk to some giraffes, and to some lions, and to some wolves, and you know, the big animals, you know, some polar bears, you know, whatever you could think of, some dolphins, you know. I just feel I'm scared about what the animals gonna say, honestly, cause I don't know. We humans don't. I don't know. We they got treated. These animals be getting treated bad. Like, it's gonna be some I don't know. It's gonna be some heartbreaking stuff. But you know, if it ain't no crying or grief or no bad things like that in heaven, then I don't even think we gonna care about the world and what happened before we got up to heaven. I think we gonna lose our memories of, I don't know, I forget. It's in Revelation, I know it is. It says something about, you know, your memory, and how when there is the new heaven and the new Jerusalem and all that, how, you know, the old things have passed away. We ain't even gonna be worried about all that. So, you know, I don't know. It's like I be wanting to hear their stories, basically, but it's like I don't even know if any of that's gonna matter. But yeah, ooh, I can't wait to eat heavenly food. Like, for real, I really can't wait. I can't wait. I know that I already know that a whole bunch of people is gonna want Jesus to cook for them. I really do want Jesus to, like, make some of that fish and bread that he had made, you know, the loaves of bread and the fish and stuff that he fed the 5,000 and all that with. I want to try some of that. I know that was the best food ever. Like, they ain't never had no fish and bread taste like that ever again. Like, I want some of that. And then I want some of the wine that Jesus made, you know, at that wedding and stuff. And what else did Jesus make? I don't know what else Jesus made, but whatever else he made, I eat that too. Wouldn't it be cool if Jesus made your favorite dish? Like, what's the dish that y'all want Jesus to make for y'all? Leave it down in the comments. Shoot. Me personally, whatever my favorite dish is, because Jesus know me better than I know myself. So whatever it is he wanna feed me, I'll eat that. Cause he know me better than I know myself. So what, like he know what my favorite dish is, so I'll take that. I'll take, you know, a custom order, you know, by Jesus, pretty much, because I'm not finna tell him what I want. I'm gonna be like, shoot, surprise me. You know me, surprise me. Whatever you want to feed me, I'll eat it. But if I had to pick something, okay, so like as an appetizer, I want like I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I really don't know. I know what I want for dessert, though. I'm just gonna say what I want for dessert. I want some apple pie for dessert. I want something like that for dessert. I really do. So I already know that Jesus is gonna hook it up. But the appetizer and the entree, you know, I really don't know. I really don't know what I would want. All I know is that whatever it is, it's gonna be just delicious. But for dessert, I know I want some apple pie, because I love apples. I love apple pie, I really do. Or some cheesecake, because I love cheesecake. It's not much that I really, you know, be eating for dessert, you know. Or some chocolate cake or something like that. But, you know, like, pretty much cheesecake. Specific, ooh, lemon meringue cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory be fire. But yeah, that and some and some apple pie with some ice cream. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I was watching the Food Channel, y'all. Was it this morning or was it yesterday? I don't know. But basically, they took a donut, right? They took a donut and they cut it in half, and then they put some type of like ice cream in the middle. It looked like it was a combination of ice cream that had like it had to have had some chocolate in there and some caramel in there and whatever else they had inside of that ice cream. It reminded me of like a salted caramel Reese's ice cream or something. It's what it looked like. That's what it was giving, you know, from the colors of the dang ice cream. And I was like, oh yes, they chose the perfect dang ice cream to put in the middle, you know, and you know, with this donut, for this donut sandwich, for this donut ice cream sandwich. And then on top of the donut, they poured freaking chocolate on it, and then they gonna put some dang peanuts on top of the chocolate glaze that was already on top of the donut. I was like, I don't know where this place is, but I want exactly that. Exactly how they just showed it and made it on TV. That's the exact one that I want. That's what I want. Because that is exactly what I would have ordered. And I would order that every single time. I wouldn't get no other flavors, no other toppings, nothing else. And you know what? I would have asked them, hey, you got some Reese's peanut butter cups? Because I need some of them on the side, you know, of this, you know, of whatever this dessert is. Yes, I want that too. I would love that too. If I don't get a chance to ever eat it in this life, shoot, when I get to heaven, I'm gonna want one of them. I am. Now they put 3 scoops of ice cream on there. I don't need that much. But I don't know if the ice cream is fire like that. I'll take my 3 scoops. I'll take that. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to eat it. It'll be okay. But I'll take that. I would. But yep, I just sorry. I went on a rant about heaven. My bad. I can't wait till we get there. You know, one of my favorite things to do really is to eat. It's so many things that I want to do. I have so many dreams. I have so many hobbies that I want to start. I got so much stuff that I want to do. But I truly can't do anything until I get some money. And, you know, and so really I just make sure that I enjoy what it is that I eat. You know, since I have so, you know, little, you know, things that I can do in terms of enjoyment right now because of finances. Like, you know, I love to make sure that what I eat I enjoy, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get to heaven and to eat. Like, of course, that's not all what we're going to be doing, you know, because we're going to have jobs and all of that type of stuff, you know. But I can't wait. I cannot wait to eat heavenly food. It is going to be delicious. It's going to be delicious. And I can't wait to hang out with Jesus in person. Like, I know he here with me. Like I know we got the Holy Spirit living in us. I know. But y'all know what I'm talking about. For real, like the 12 disciples was hanging out with Jesus type thing. You know, that's what I would want. You know, I want a for real hug. You know, I want, like, I don't know what else I want. Like, I want a for real hug, most definitely. Before anything, I want a hug. You know, I want a hug, and I want I want to hang out. I want to watch movies. You know, I want to do stuff. And you know what? I hope that when we get to heaven, anything that we always wanted to do but never got a chance to do on earth, I hope we get to do that. Like growing up, I love singing and I love dancing. I love, you know, I love doing that type of stuff. You know, the arts type stuff. So, like, I want to sing for Jesus. you know, when we get to heaven. I want to sing for him for all eternity. I ain't got to be a professional, you know, but I want to sing for him for all eternity. I want to dance for him, you know. I want to, I want to learn how to do ballet and ice skate and just the whole, all of the different forms of dance that I always fantasize myself doing, but I would never freaking, you know, do in real life. Like, I want to learn how to do that when I get to heaven. I want to do that. I want to learn how to do the little flag dances and stuff, you know, for Jesus, you know. They remind me of praise dancers, but they do it, you know, with the colorful flags and stuff. You know, it's a lot of stuff I want to do. It's a lot of stuff I want to do. Well, I hope I get to serve the Lord in heaven as an usher. Cause, you know, I was an usher at my granny church, and I was when I was a little girl, even though I didn't like, you know, going to church. But I love ushering, you know, I love serving at the door. I love helping people. So I wonder how that's gonna look, you know, when we get to heaven, you know. Like I would love to usher people into the Lord's kingdom. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Like, for real. Like, I would love to do that. Even if I don't do it all the time, if we got different shifts and stuff that we do, that's fine, so that way everybody can get a chance, you know. Like, that's fine. But I would love to usher. I would love to do that. Like, everything that I did here on earth for the Lord, I'm pretty sure that I'll be doing in heaven. You know, because I could, you know, if I prove that I've been a good steward and stuff like that of the, you know, of those things. But I'm not going to hold y'all, though. I can sit here and talk all day about heaven and everything, but, you know, at least you know some things that I would, you know, like to do, you know, with the Lord and for the Lord. I'm just eager to start working for him and doing stuff for him, you know, but I'm trying to enjoy the stage that I'm at right now, you know. But it's just so exciting to think about the future, you know. So, yep. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you. Jesus loves you. And have a blessed day. Bye.